morning, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful fall morning here on Quincy Ave, the site of our central firehouse. This morning we're going to talk a little bit about some of the federal grants that have been acquired for Quincy Fire Department and what it means to the people of Quincy. And I know there's a lot of folks that work very hard for the city on a regular basis, including working on grants, and I do want to acknowledge the team at the fire department, Lieutenant Jerry Murphy, Evan Harrington, Roy Muller, Al Trying, and Chris Folan for the work that they did putting this together. It's really a combination of things that have to happen. One is we have to have our house in order, but more importantly, the programs have to be available out of Washington, and we have a champion in Congressman Steve Lynch for all of these programs, and not only the formation and creation of them, but then going to bat for us down there because there's a lot of competition in the pipeline for these. So, this is the most recent SAFER grant, but we also got an earmark to Congressman Lynch for a new firehouse. As you all know, we bought some land across the street just a couple of years ago, and we got an earmark for $4 million towards that effort. We've also gotten SAFER grants in the past. We've had other apparatus that were also awarded to Quincy, and I tell you, no matter what the issue is, Congressman Steve Lynch is always there. He's there for me for guidance. He's there for support. He is in this district constantly. We're so fortunate and blessed to have him represent us in D.C. I know we all see the news, and the public polling shows that Congress in general is not held in high esteem. But we couldn't have a better congressman, and this congressman is held in very high esteem. We're grateful for his work, his leadership, and partnership. Congressman, if you could address the troops.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank all of our elected officials who are here today. I see Senator Keenan. Good to see you. Noel DeBona. I saw Dave McCarthy here earlier. Here we are. You can recognize the rest of the delegation, but this is really a team approach. I distinctly remember Bill Delahunt, who was my mentor when I was in Congress, when they were doing redistricting. He said, you really want to try to pick up Quincy, because I didn't represent, obviously, when Bill was here, he was representing the city of Quincy. And he said, two reasons. One, he says, you're the only member of your family that hasn't moved to Quincy already. And he said, there's no place more loyal to hard work than the city of Quincy. He said, if you show people here that you really care about them, and if you show up, and if you work hard on their behalf, you'll have a great experience being a member of Congress from the city of Quincy. And Bill, as so often was the case, Bill was right. I just want to say, as the mayor has indicated, this is really a team approach. The way we used to do things in Washington with funding was we would sit down in Washington and try to figure out a formula that applied to 50 different states and thousands of cities. It didn't work out well that way because each city is in a different situation. So what we did about 6 years ago, we changed the system around, and these community priority funding projects now begin with Mayor Koch in this instance, where we ask each city and town, what do you need? What do you see as being your highest priorities? And thankfully, we have a mayor who's totally connected to what the city of Quincy needs. We're blessed to have a state delegation that is intimately involved in what's going on each and every day in Quincy. And we have a city council and a school committee that are also totally engaged. And in this case, when the mayor looked around and said, what are our priorities? What do we need first and foremost? He recognized the fire service and recognized the need. Look, I believe the original date of construction on this older facility was like 1930. And so Mayor Koch had the vision that we need a new fire station, we need new equipment, we need better apparatus, and we need more firefighters, because the growth the growth of the city of Quincy is incredible. And we need to keep pace with that in order to allow our firefighters to be well trained, but also have enough personnel to support each other, so that when Chief Jackson has to deploy resources and deploy firefighters to a very, very dangerous situation, he feels comfortable that the people of Quincy are protected. So, like I say, this was a team approach. We're blessed to have good leadership in Tom Koch. Look, the way these grants work is, once you prove yourself to Congress, once they give you, your first allotment, which started many years ago, and they can look at the example of how you spent that money and how you manage your city, you prove yourself. Tom Koch has proven himself as a leader, as a manager, as someone who manages resources, and the federal government provides part of that, but there's also the state and city taxes as well that fund many of these projects. Tom Koch has proven himself over and over again, along with the Quincy delegation, that federal money spent here in Quincy on behalf of the citizens of Quincy is money well spent. We know it will be prudently deployed, that the care and attention has been given to each and every project, and that the priorities are balanced and thoughtful in terms of how that federal money gets spent. So I want to thank Mayor Koch for his great leadership, his partnership. It's an honor for me each and every day to represent the city of Quincy in the United States Congress. I know sometimes when you look down at Washington, you say, what the heck is going on there? But I think there's a fair number of us who understand the basic needs of why we were sent there to the United States Congress, and what our job is on behalf of the people who sent us there. So again, I'm very thankful to have the wonderful honor of representing the city of Quincy in the United States Congress. And I want to thank you for your support. And I want to thank all our firefighters for the work that you do every single day. As somebody who was elected to Congress on September 11th and saw the tragedy of 9/11 and saw the heroism that was exhibited on that day, and knowing that possibility is out there each and every day for every firefighter and police officer and public safety personnel, we appreciate the responsibility that you take on to protect our families. So God bless the firefighters in Quincy. God bless the city of Quincy, and may God continue to bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. I failed to mention, just a couple of weeks back, we're out at Marina Bay announcing the replacement of the pier. There's been a lot of talk about a robust ferry service out of Marina Bay. We can't do that without the appropriate pier, so we received a $4.2 million earmark for the pier, and Congressman, thank you for that as well. Next up, I do want to acknowledge Senator Keenan as well. He must have come in under the wire, as he usually does. Senator Keenan and the legislative delegation, Speaker Mariano and Representative Chan and Ayers, are always supportive in their own right with various earmarks from the state level. I know they've been supportive of this department as well, so thank you, Senator. And I couldn't do what we could do on the city side without a partnership with our city council. I can't remember in all my tenure having a disagreement with the city council over appropriations for public safety. And there's a reason for that. Outside of educating our kids, the most important thing we do is for everyone to feel safe in their person and their property. And of course, the fire service is there 24/7 when that bell rings. So I want to thank President Kane and the City Council for the great work they do, the partnership we have, and ask President Kane to come up and say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mayor Koch. Thank you very much, Congressman Lynch. Thank you to Chief Jackson and to President Bose. We are a very fortunate city to be so collaborative in the work that we do. I think the mayor and the congressman highlighted very acutely that This started from the work of the firefighters themselves, which is very impressive. I can't imagine many cities and towns who are going and doing their own work and putting together grant applications in order to bring back the bacon themselves, but then having collaborative partnerships with both the city and the federal level to make sure that we get it done. So on behalf of my colleagues here, Noel DeBona, Dave McCarthy, who looks like he's joining the force over there by the truck, and Scott Campbell, congratulations to everyone on their hard work, and I'm glad that we could be here today with you to celebrate.
Next up, Chief Joe Jackson, who's done a great job leading the department over the last several years, and I appreciate his leadership for the department, but also he's not afraid to ask. He's not afraid to let me know from his perspective what's going on, and I think those in the department understand that style. We appreciate that style. Chief Jackson.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Before I forget, thank you for Senator Keenan. Thank you for the councilors, Council President Dean Kane, Councilors McCarthy, DeBona, Campbell. Thank you for being with us. I'll start with Mayor Koch. Mayor, thank you very much for your vision and for your leadership. When you took over 17 years ago, our job looked nothing like it does today. 17 years later, the fact is we're the envy of most. So thank you, boss, for that very much. Congressman Lynch, sir, I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done, for all of your efforts on our behalf. We've had a huge champion in you for many, many years, and that's not lost on any of us. Your contribution to this whole effort it goes a long way towards keeping us safe. You know, it's worth mentioning, this isn't just a new firehouse, because this firehouse is almost 90 years old. These buildings, they're not safe to live in 100 years later. We don't enjoy a lot of the modern compliances that are necessary today. These will be employed across the street. Things like where we keep our turnout gear. We've learned lessons about how these things are exposing us. Moving across the street will go a long way towards keeping us safe and giving us a safe, healthy place to do our work and to live together, hopefully 24/7 for the next 100 years. But thank you so much, Congressman Lynch, for that very much. And for the gentlemen, our grant writers on the job, you know who you are. Thank you, gentlemen. You guys started this endeavor, I think, 6 years ago. And here we are 6 years later. I think you've brought in more than $12 million in grants. So it's really incredible. So thank you very much for everybody, for all the collaboration. Godspeed.
In batting cleanup today, the president of Local 792, Tom Bowes, who is not shy either. I get texts on a regular basis from Tom, sometimes a phone call. But what I love about is the fire service is you guys know how to manage each other. You know how to solve problems, mostly in-house. So by the time it comes to me from time to time, it's usually exhausted and we have to take certain measures. But the collaboration between the chief and the union just provides for a much better experience for everybody on the job. So, President Bowes.
Good morning. It's often been said a great city starts with a safe city. Over the past 16 years, as we have watched our city grow under the Koch administration, we've watched the fire department grow right beside it. With this upcoming class of 26 recruits next spring, that will include 16 safer grant hires, we will have approximately 275 firefighters, matching the most firefighters in the history of the Quincy Fire Department. You have to go back to the early 70s or the late 1800s to match these numbers. That's an increase of 40% in manpower under the Koch administration. As we always say, manpower matters. You can have the best rigs and the best equipment, but when you pull up to something at 3 in the morning, if you don't have the bodies, none of that matters. This has all been possible through a team effort, a vision and investment here locally in the city, along with the members of our local tirelessly writing federal AFG and safer grant applications on a yearly basis, and Congressman Lynch working down in DC on our behalf, fighting to bring these grant awards back here to Quincy to help us achieve our goals. Over the past 10 years alone, we have been able to obtain $12 million in federal grant awards thanks to the help of Congressman Lynch. These awards have not only included the additional manpower, but have included new rigs, such as Rescue 1, new gear and equipment, and valuable training for our members to help keep us safe. In addition to all this, Congressman Lynch has also been able to obtain $4 million in funding towards a long overdue and much needed new Engine 1 station across the street at Quincy Ave and Water Street, replacing this almost 100-year-old station. When we travel down to DC every year, Congressman Lynch's door is always open for us. If he isn't in the office to chat with us, someone from his office is always there to say, "What do you guys need?" Your efforts in DC are truly making a difference here on the streets of the city of Quincy, Congressman. We can't thank you enough for your efforts on our behalf. Something can be said about the way we do things here in the city of Quincy. Everybody, the union, the city, and our state and federal delegation work together for the common good and the safety of the people of this great city. I think a lot of places around the country would learn a lot from the way we do things here, especially in these divided times we live in. In closing, I just want to say thanks again to Congressman Lynch, Mayor Koch, Chief Jackson, and all the grant writers. This is a great day for the department. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. I did want to acknowledge we have a special office of grant writing. Jim Scribby heads that office. So federal, state dollars we're constantly chasing, and we have some people that do that on a daily basis, and you need to do that. I was talking to the congressman earlier. There's some cities and towns that just don't have the staff and personnel to do that. That's why they're not as successful. So thank you, Jimmy, for your good work as well. Well, I thank everybody for coming out. If anybody has any questions of the congressman, I'll be happy to defer. Scott, you good?
Is there a timeline for the new engine one?
Question, is there a timeline for new engine one? Not specifically. We had done some architectural work about a year and a half ago. We're going to pull that back out now that we've got a grant to get us moving. And then we'll have that discussion with the city council on what the appropriation need will be. But I assume the next 6 months we'll be talking a little bit more about it in greater detail.
And the $6 million grant is 16.
Say that again, Scott?
16, the safer grant?
16 firefighters with the Saver grant, correct.
And they're starting next year, it sounds like.
The expectation, I believe, is they'll be in the academy by March 1st. The fire academy, I think under the grant, they have to be on by a certain date. And under that grant requirement, we are not allowed to go below the level we were at prior to the grant. So we'll be putting on more than 16 firefighters to keep up with the retirements. That's it. Again, thank you, everybody. Enjoy this beautiful fall day. God bless.